when you do put in the time, you'll start to better understand what's actually taking place within like the realm of the professional traders and the realm of the retail traders, right? I don't know if you were, yeah, I don't know if you guys were in the room yesterday, while we were talking about one of the trades that we were looking to take. Majority of retail traders would have been shorting that trade. Uh, there are very few people who would have been able to read the price action and understand that the move was going to move up instead of down, right? But you'd have to do your top-down analysis, understand where the market was, what level it was at, major or minor, and what it failed to do within its movement to see the directional move before it played out, right? And that's the same approach you bring to trading every single day that you step into the market. Top down approach, look at the bigger context, get your levels, get your bigger levels, find your minor levels, and then say to yourself, okay, when the market comes into these areas, I'm going to develop a long trade or a short trade based off of this, and this, right? It could be something simple. You know, shucks, if I'm gonna break it down, it could be something simple as like, I don't know, higher time frame key level makes sense. Trading the frame weakness makes sense. I don't know, pin bar 8 tick failure makes sense. Boom, click the trade in, done, right? Let the trade run its course. That's a simple breakdown of a set of rules that I have for entry, right? Comes into my levels showing signs of weakness, pin bar prints out, I'm short. Double top happens, I'm short. Double bottom happens at a level of support, I'm long, right? Pin bar touches the exact level, fails to get through, showing signs of weakness for sellers, increase of buyers that could potentially happen at this level because it's a minor level of support, I'm long, right? I try to keep it that simple because there's so much different things that you have to think about in trading that you just have to keep this stuff as simple as possible. But in order to build that type of confidence and to build those smaller sets of rules to understand what makes me click the button to trigger me in, that's something that I put the effort and time into reading and looking at the charts to develop an understanding around my trading levels of how the market would move to get me into the trade in a confident manner, right? Whether I get stopped out or not, it at that point really doesn't matter to me because this is my not only my trading process for for a setup for a trade, but this is my entry criteria anyway. You know that leaves it, but it that alleviates a lot of emotion, but it does take a lot of time, you know, to put in, and I think that sometimes, for you guys, um, more so, it's it seems like it's been a lot of time sometimes, that you spent doing all of this, but you spent most of your time weeding out, excuse the language, but weeding out the bullshit. That's what you spent most of the time doing, you know? There is a point in which there's a lot of knowledge you can contain in trading, but a lot of the information that you learn, whether it be from academies or from YouTube or from books, a lot of that information, though it's good information to know, doesn't necessarily apply to actual trading. So when you're learning and when you're growing, what you're doing, and you could spend some could go as fast as a couple months, a couple years, some could take as long as 10, 20, 30 years. But it's because they're weeding out not just the bullshit of the information that you learn from a lot of different areas, but also you're learning to stop, falling into the same bad habits and routines you were constantly getting yourself killed in, and so you're starting to grow and push into that direction of, okay, what really matters in trading. And honestly, the simple way to do this is, what matters is that top down approach to identify your levels and look to only trade the directional movement from that level, because by the time the market gets to that area, you should have a better understanding of what the market can potentially do from this level. So if I'm sitting here at 39.70 and the market touches this area and it fails to break through, I have a better understanding that this is a major level of resistance that could turn the market back down to minor and major levels of support. And that's how I would look to approach the trade. If the market just literally blew right through 39.70, I got no trade until I see it exhaust itself at that area and show me what I would want to see to actually get into the trade. You know, that stuff has to be practiced, practiced, practiced. If you look at where you're at now and then you look at where you were before, a lot of times when you were on paper trading, you were not doing the same type of setup. You were not looking for the same things over and over and over again. Instead, you're applying different approaches, strategy hopping, seeing what works as far as tools to, you know, the moving averages to bounce off it. You're doing all of this and you're not setting the trade up the same way. You're not setting your levels up the same way. And that type of thing has to be done on a consistent basis. And then look at trade from there. Takes time, team. Takes a little bit of time.
And pain.
Oh yeah.
It's a painful process.